Well, it looks like it's finally happening. The Defenders appear to be coming back. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what Marvel executive Brad Winderbaum had to say about these other characters and how it's very much being explored. Well, based on the name of this channel, I believe nostalgia is pretty powerful. And in the last couple of years, you've started really to feel a lot of love for those Netflix-era characters that Marvel produced several years ago. Now, with the return of Charlie Cox into the MCU, fans have been wondering what's going to go on with the rest of those characters. There have been persistent rumors that Daredevil's fellow Defenders are going to somehow find their way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in a very similar way Daredevil was reintroduced. Now, over the last couple of years, we've heard rumor after rumor about this, and some of them turned out to be true, specifically John Bernthal returning as the Punisher, which we already saw him in the trailer. Now, recently, the head of Marvel Streaming and Television, Brad Winderbaum, was talking with Entertainment Weekly about Daredevil Born Again, and he definitely seemed to hint that it's only a matter of time before Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones, Mike Coulter's Luke Cage, and Finn Jones' Danny Rand find their way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, in that interview, he actually said, and I quote, "I can't say much, but I'll tell you that it's so exciting to be able to play in that sandbox. Obviously, we don't have the unlimited storytelling resources like a comic book. If you can draw it, you can do it. It's dealing with actors and time and the massive scale of production in order to build a cinematic universe, especially on television. But I can say that all those variables are being taken into account. It is certainly something that is creatively extremely exciting and that we are very much exploring." Now, in case you didn't know, this guy is Kevin Feige's right-hand man, and that last sentence means a lot to me. The fact that he's saying they're very much exploring it means there are active and ongoing conversations about those characters and what's going on. They're clearly ready to revisit a lot of these concepts. And not only does it appear they're ready to revisit these characters and concepts, but they might be rewriting some of what went down in the Netflix shows. During that same conversation, Winderbaum had something pretty interesting to say about one of the best storylines from that original Netflix series and what played directly into the Defenders. When talking about the future of all these projects, he said, "Who knows what the future brings? Once we arc out here, there are obviously any number of stories we want to revisit or pull from the comics that involve Elektra, or the Hand, or any part of Daredevil's mythos. 100% it's in the back of our heads. Eventually we'll try to figure out a bit more with that." Now, if you remember correctly, Season 2 of Daredevil and the Defender series definitely dived deeply into not only the Hand, but it definitely deeply involved Elektra, her death, and then an eventual showdown with the Hand. Now, honestly, I like the Defenders, but kind of how they closed out the Hand and even the Chase in those series, well, it seemed kind of abrupt. And if you remember them from the comics, these organizations always live on. Elektra is also another character that consistently finds her way back from the dead, so we could very well, maybe in Season 3 of Daredevil, see some of these storylines bubble back to the top, and it really wouldn't be a better time to reunite the Defenders if Matt Murdock once again has to face off with the Hand. I guess the big question is, will Elodie Young return as Elektra? I loved her in the role, and some of those other supporting roles from the Hand, specifically Sigourney Weaver, well, you have to wonder if they'll also find their way back into the MCU. Now, personally, I just rewatched all these Netflix shows and I quite enjoyed them. Actually, I think I enjoyed them more on this repetitive pass. When Netflix dropped these shows all 13 episodes at one time, well, people tended to binge them. And looking back on it, I think that might not have been the best framework for release. Obviously, there's issues with some of the series, specifically the Iron Fist series, but I think Marvel Studios, working with Finn Jones, the proper trainers and stunt people, well, they can make that character finally come to life in the way that many fans wanted to see. Now, how Marvel does this, I really don't know, but making any guesses, I highly suspect maybe in Season 2 of Daredevil or early in Season 3, we get to know the heroes for hire, which will include not only Luke and Danny, but probably Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, allowing Marvel to bring all these characters back after this extended break, and then just fill the backstory in as we move forward in the current storyline. Seems to be what they're doing for Wilson Fisk, Frank Castle, and Matt Murdock, so why wouldn't it work for the rest of these street-level heroes? And if this actually happens, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, before you take off though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the real, truthful superhero news, and we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are really, really in the know.